So as a guitar player, I'm always looking for new ways to get creative and write music with or around the instrument. Sometimes that can be as simple as just creating a backing track to practice over. Or I'm just working on a song and I need some extra inspiration that doesn't involve using the guitar. Now I've used synth and drum plugins before. Some have been really great, others not so much. But when I found Teletone Audio, I was seriously blown away with their high quality synth sounds and drums. Now this video is not sponsored by them. They have no idea I'm even making this video. I just wanted to share with the creative and musical world their insanely inspiring plugins. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 of their many plugins. 2 of them will be their synthy stuff, Ondine and Gimbet. And then we have Tympo, their super fun drum plugin. They're pretty versatile, so whatever you do musically, I'm sure there's something here for you. So with that being said, let's dive a little deeper into them, and all of the background tunes and little song breaks you hear in this video are all coming from these plugins. Let's start with their most recent release, Gimbet, and I hope I'm saying that right. Gimbet is their 3rd and last installment of their trilogy consisting of Scarbo and Ondine, which I'll be talking about next. Gimbet has over 75 instruments and 25 multis, all ranging from sparkling keys, ambient and distorted pads, driving basses, and inspiring synths. These sounds are just very cinematic, and they're inspired from, of course, iconic and vintage synthesizers. So taking a look at its very simple layout, we have a few different controls to change how each instrument sounds. The mood and movement knobs, they do the most, and they give you vast possibilities that can give the sound a lot more character. So here's a quick little example. Here's with the mood knob all the way down. Makes it much wider, adds a whole bunch of other stuff to it as well. And here's the movement knob. Now the best part about this is that the knobs do different things for each of these different instruments, so you really do get an insane amount of different sounds. So I'll now just show you some of my favorite instruments and multis, and then we'll move on to the next one. So all in all, Gimbet creates very almost liminal type synth sounds that can be perfect for scoring film, adding synth layers on top of your song, or even if you're just a pianist, playing anything using these will sound incredible. Tympo was actually my first introduction to Teletone. The drums are very Tame Impala-esque sounding. They're groovy, very beat-centric, and they seem to fall under the category of indie music, lo-fi, and psychedelic stuff. Now, they aren't limited to those genres, but if your focus is more on like straight rhythm and blues, classic rock, then maybe another type of drum plugin would be right for you. But even then, each is to their own. This could work for you however you like. So we have a pitch and mod wheel, which you can actually control via your MIDI keyboard. You can also control that on here if you'd like. Once you select any of these, you can select all of them, or just one of them, whatever you want. Now, these are just some extra effects that we can add to our drum sound. Distress, decade, now the effects one is one of my favorites. You can add flanger, saturation, phaser, slap, and plate. Let's just do phaser as an example. Slap. And each effect gets its own knob, so this doesn't control all of them at once. Then we have room, this gives it a little bit of reverb. Then we have noise, this can add like a cassette, a room tone, or a vinyl type background noise over or behind the drums. So for example, this is with it off, on. You can hear the crackles. Now here's where we can really dial in our drum sound. For the kit selection, this just gives you 29 drum sounds to start with, and then you can tweak them using all of these. The beat selection is where you can get obviously different types of beats. We've been on the default tempo, but we can move on to, let's say, glamour, however they want to say it. So as you can see, if you're looking down here, these are where I'm hitting the keys. Now you can just hold down one key and it'll play the drum sound for you. Now, thanks to the beat maker, this is where it makes all of that possible. Now we have the numbers up here, 1 through 8, that goes through the keys 1 through 8 on the keyboard. It starts with C, ends on D. Now when I hit C, or the first key, it automatically takes me there. Now I can adjust and add extra snares if I want. I can make this 16th notes for the hi-hat. I can adjust all this stuff. It's super, super intuitive and insanely cool. I can add extra percussion. I can add crashes and rides. Now when I hit the third key, it'll take me to the third one, and I can adjust all of this again, and I can mix match all of these different beats I want for my song. Now, as great as this is, you can also just do it yourself by selecting each individual piece of the drum set. And it's there if you want to do that. I'm sure a lot of people would prefer that over the beat maker. Now going back to a little bit of this, like I said, we have so many different types of beats, and they all sound really, really great. And they can be used for, like I said, tons of different genres. Now for each of our kit and our beat, we can adjust the volume, the room, we can pan it left or right. We can fatten our kick, we can fatten our snare, the hi-hat, we can adjust all of these percussions, crashes, rides, the toms, compression. We can tighten it, make it more clear. There's so much stuff you can do with it. And let's say we really like our kit and our beat, but we're kind of not happy with our snare. We have all of these choices to pick for our snare for just this specific sound. And you can also do that for kick, the hi-hat, the toms, ride, crash, all that. Ever since I've gotten this, I've played with it almost every single day. It is just so fun to mess around with, and it can be really inspiring if you have a riff, you record it, you're really not sure where to go with it. You throw on one of these, throw on the beat maker, you mess around with different beats, and then you find something and it can just inspire you to keep going with the song you created. Definitely by far my favorite plugin, which is very hard for me to say because I love the other ones I have, but it just sounds so good, so it just has to be my favorite. Now throughout the rest of this video, you will hear me use Tympo, using just different kits and different beats. If you want to learn more about it and all the details and really hear all the different types of beats, like I said, Teletone, they make killer detailed videos going over all this stuff, so definitely check it out. So Ondine, as they explain it, is the lighter and more hypnotic side of the synth spectrum. It's definitely much more airy, I think, compared to Le Gimbet, and honestly, hypnotic is the best way to describe it. It's got over 50 instruments, which is a little less than Le Gimbet, and 25 multis that also give you a wide range of those magical synth sounds. It's got the same exact layout as Le Gimbet since they are in the same collection. Now you already know how the mood and movement knobs interact with the sounds. It's very similar. I'm just gonna jump right into some of these instrument and multi sounds, and then I'll wrap this video up and give you my final thoughts. So from my experience from just these 3 plugins, Teletone Audio is definitely a name you should remember. You can hear and see how much work they put into these plugins because they all sound incredible. They're all sort of similar, but they each have their own special thing that could just give you limitless ideas to come up with. Now the price on both of those synths I think are pretty affordable. They're $89 a piece. Tympo being just a little pricier, around $129. But if you compare that to other drum plugins, the price is just fine. All of these are pretty simple to use, and obviously the more you use them, the better you'll get with them. And like I said, Teletone Audio has their own detailed videos going over all of these things, so you'll have no problem learning how to use it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and checking out Teletone Audio through my eyes and ears. I use them every day, and I always find something new that just keeps the creative juices flowing, which is great for us musicians who inevitably fall in ruts constantly. Thanks as always for watching. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on these plugins, and I will see you in the next video.